In today's video, we're looking if what if the world religions go to war? So red, the dark red being Protestant, the kind of like normal reddish being Catholic, and then we have the kind of dark pinkish Orthodox. You have the dark green being Sunni, the green being Shia, and then orange Hindu, yellow Buddhist, Japanish Shinto, and then we have the black atheists. I don't know if they're mostly atheists. So we're gonna just look at what other religions go to war, and we know some regions are probably. Can I not do these countries right here? Well, it doesn't matter. I think they're all because most of this region is Catholic. Yeah, I don't know why I'm surprised. I think Bahamas is Protestant. Either Catholic or Protestant, either one of them. They're one of them, but I try not to use keep showing my wheel every few minutes. Wait a minute. I kind of want it to be lighter so you guys can see it. I'm trying to let this be adjustable for you guys. So, ooh, but also maintaining the reddish color. I guess that's fine. So of course we have the United States with the Canada and just yeah, it's just not in it for Mexico. It really never is. Only possible chance for Mexico is if the whole world went against America. And if then, it still wouldn't. And by the way, this event would take place in months and possibly years. The invasion, this, for example, technically, America does this before they go through Central America when Mexico's kind of still alive. They also invade through Cuba, just knock out all those countries. Cuba, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. And now they're on the border of this. And also, with American help, they managed to, decide to give some regions their own thing. Because it just wouldn't be fair not to. Now, I only did this for Canada and Germany. I didn't do the same thing. And we just have. Oh, we just have naval landings into this continent, and then we have a little flat front line in Venezuela. No matter what, once a country occupies another country, we're going to use all their resources. So American can are mainly targeting Venezuela to kind of, help with the oil. America's doing pretty good, and Canada too. But those South American forces hasn't hit back yet. They're about to hit back now. Yeah. And they still managed to hold on to the coastal areas because America definitely has naval primacy over this region. But they don't really advance that much further. Okay, so taking a break from North the Americas, which is mostly is just Catholic. I mean, it's just Catholic. It normally is in this region. Okay, this is the region where it gets the most complicated. I mean, without a doubt, I definitely think the Southern African countries will probably not blitz, but this region It no chance. It really has no chance. It's being surrounded by mostly Protestant nations. Now, I think some countries, like Nigeria, I think they also have some Muslim minorities. I could have split Nigeria too, but I chose not to because I didn't. I just didn't want to do it. Pretty much, the Catholics, they got kicked out of Africa. I mean, really, the only region where the Catholics probably has the best overall in Europe. Maybe Latin America. They kind of get kicked out of there too. So now it's just uh, Sunni Muslims versus Protestants versus Orthodox. Now, first, the Protestants and the Muslims, they decide just to go ahead and just split the Orthodox a bit. Now, they do allow the Protestants to invade a bit of Somalia because they know. So basically, they're temporarily working together to invade Ethiopia since, they don't want Ethiopia to last forever. Well, they just don't want Ethiopia to. And then, the Muslims, they come north. In Ethiopia, pretty much just get split. Well, some countries I didn't really look up whether if they had a Protestant or Catholic majority. I'm not really. Sudan, Protestant or really Catholic? I'm on the Protestant team because, the British Empire. I just kind of thought. But, I mean, you can kind of see where the British Empire kind of did its foundation. Coming up here to Eurasia. It's complicated. It's very complicated here. Okay, first of all, we more than know this region's cooked. I mean, they're being surrounded by Iran and India. I think Kazakhstan has more of a Muslim majority. I put them on the Orthodox team, so the Sunni team won't be that powerful. No, the Shia team does manage to kind of cut Turkey from the rest of the Arabias. Because they really can't do anything else. This is probably their peak they're gonna get. The Indians, they're kind of just doing their own. We know what they're doing. I'm not really surprised. They also choose to go and just. They go and just. They tan. They just do per shots and they go and. Not it. And this is also probably India's peak as they're gonna get because the Chinese dragon has not woken up yet. So they're gonna try to take his disadvantage. They're really trying to capitulate as Pakistan, and I know that Afghanistan and Pakistan probably wouldn't follow this fast, but for other reasons, yeah. Also, the Hindus and the Shia Muslims are doing a temporary alliance with each other to go ahead and just knock down these other religions that are up here. And they kind of do that successfully until they reach near the border of Kazakhstan where Russia and Kazakhstan troops are kind of holding this off. So they're kind of protecting the, what? I mean, they kind of are, kind of not. Orthodox pretty much occupying this area to make sure the other religions just don't. So we have so the Sunni religion has been fully kicked out of India. That's great. And not good for the Orthodox is that Armenia, they're gone. Turkey's kind of gone, kind of not gone. And then, that's pretty much. This is probably gonna be as far as she's peak is gonna get. Realistic. But taking a break, from Asia. Well, central, southwest no, central south and southwest Asia. No, central, middle, and South Asia. Yeah, the middle. The Catholics. Okay. Even though the Catholics are getting kicked out of every continent, they do have the advantage somewhat here. I mean, they do lose Ireland. Bye bye. And then they also lose some parts of Belgium. And Lithuania gets jumped. I mean, they might be cooked, they may not be cooked. Wait. Yeah. You have to change colors. I don't know what colors I want to use. But yeah, they pretty much just and they just say their prayers. Even though they have all these countries, I mean, there's only strong countries that are on their team is really just France, Italy, and maybe Spain. Because we probably know the Orthodox is gonna rip through this area. That area is gonna be gone. Gone. The area is gonna be gone before you say. The area is gonna be gone before you say. The area is gonna be gone before you say dog. Like, the area is like just. You guys know. So they pretty much just destroyed Orthodox, just destroy this region. Yes. There we go. Pretty much, Orthodox are pretty much just destroying this region. Sadly and not sadly. I mean, regardless, there is gonna be like one Christian nation. And then the Catholics are like, we're gonna try to destroy Germany since they're that kind of powerhouse. So, the Europeans kind of do something impressive. They send, instead of trying to hold out over here, which I guess is they try to send all their forces here and just abandon their forces over here, allowing that to happen. Also, then the invasion of the Netherlands and West Germany. Catholics and the Orthodox seeing this, they're like, okay, yo, try to race towards Berlin, falling bye bye. And then we get out like a Cold War Germany all over again. But this time, this front is going to be constantly moving. Constantly. These nations are going to mount up. They're probably not going to be able to invade Scandinavia due to the British probably protecting that. You know, the British fleet is very strong, so probably not going to be able to invade Scandinavia. I mean, not saying Scandinavia is like buffed. The British are protecting it. You know, when the British protect something, I mean, the Russians do kind of do a little something, but like that's all they do. Taking a break from Europe, let's go to where the Chinese dragon is. Pretty much, I have no words. I have no words. How do you think this is gonna go? How do you think? Korea's gone. North Korea just gone. Yeah. And then, oh no, the Chinese dragon has awoken. And instead of trying to liberate, the territories, they choose not to because North Korea, no. So they pretty much just dismantle Mongolia. And it was very easy to invade this area. And then they pretty much just start their own invasion into Vietnam. They just pretend the island was always part of China. And they just roll through this region. There is literally, well, there are some strong countries here, but against like the Chinese and the Indians crashing down on them on two sides, no, no, no. We're not doing that. I feel bad for this region. And then we just have a naval invasion into the Philippines. China was always stationed there. Malaysia's gone. Borneo's gone. Not looking for it. Time Japan can't get any help from good old America. Because, they're not on your side. They are not on your side. And China just goes on a rampage and just. I mean, this would probably take a long time. China can technically do it. Like, okay, China liberate stuff back. So, North Korea. And then South Korea, and then bye bye Japan. Now, Japan could hold out for like a long time. But we're doing this like after like so many years. So yeah, East Asia is pretty much under Chinese dominance. Now the only reason China could possibly win this is if they beat India. America's not on the west side. If America's on a different team, and the west could be more broken up. Like South Korea and Japan were on the same team. And the Philippines, Taiwan, Vietnam, Australia, New Zealand, they weren't on the same team. They were on totally different teams. So China's pretty much not going to be doing anything else. They wouldn't really try to invade India. Because they just wouldn't. They wouldn't try to invade Russia because it would just be a pain. So China's going to just hold out and just. I was about to say, they're atheists. They're atheists. I can't say that. I think they would probably try to invade us. Well, no, maybe. Going back to the North American theater, where America kind of sees the Protestants as really collecting China, do something that they're probably gonna regret doing because this war can end an actual peace treaty. Some nations just want some extra land. America. There's various naval wings, but they're very huge. And they just consolidate them into a huge, massive store to South America. Like, this is so awesome. Just because there's colors on this map does not mean America actually all these troops. This is just color on the map, like in 10-9 speed. And then this region, just because this region is knocked out does not mean America is actually occupying all of it. They could in key cities to help them under their control. And now they go ahead and send some troops to Africa. I'm about to show what happened in the African theater. Gone. Well, and you're wrong. You're gone. Gone. You know that promise they said they would keep? They really didn't keep it. And now the Muslims are kind of just rolling until Gold America shows up. I mean, Muslims do get like a little bit of Nigeria, pretty much just some more Muslim of it, until America shows up. And you know what that's gonna do. And it was just utterly sweeping him into Africa. And by the way, all this is like Protestant. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, how would this? No, I'm gonna the Africa definitely looks something like that right now. America either choose they can either send their troops to Africa, probably try to kick out the Muslims from it. Oh, Sunni Muslims. We didn't talk about Israel. I wonder what Israel. I really wonder. Israel is kind of complicated. I was just gonna say I was gonna sink them into the ocean. But like Judaism is kind of key. So what we're gonna do is just let them take over the world. And that's what they want. Right? I'm just kidding. So we're gonna basically do this so slow. Basically, Israel. They basically just do the whole. They just basically do the whole 6-day war thing again. This time the Muslim world isn't really that united anymore. I mean, it really was never united. But like, since Muslims are kind of on different teams, mostly all the Muslims are on one team, the Sunni team. But like, still, I mean, Israel does do some great progress. You managed to basically capitulate Jordan, forcing them to surrender. Get this in Syria and Lebanon. And this is pretty much just what Israel's gonna get. And the only reason they're not being invaded right now is because the Muslims are more focused on kicking the Protestants out of Africa than they are. America choosing to send their troops in Europe doesn't make a difference because it doesn't really make a difference because it just doesn't. But that will do it if all the religions of the world go to war. The thing is, none of them will win. Well, if you were to do them that way. I mean, you could debate. Maybe maybe the Muslims could win if they could try to help the, I guess, semi-help the Catholics and Protestants and get the Orthodox, because Orthodox are kind of strong. Because they do have the natural will to keep this war going. What other countries don't in this don't probably look something like this. I mean, this front line's probably not going to move because secretly the Protestants and the Shia Muslims are working together temporarily to help kick the Sunni Muslims. Since they're the largest group of Muslims, they're going to be the biggest threat. So they're temporarily working together, and the Jews and the Judaïsts and the Jews are also working together with the Protestants and the Shias. They're working together. You know, China's busy trying to occupy and all this land, get their resources. I mean, they shouldn't technically be in the war, they're just not doing anything. They're just technically doing a ceasefire. The Catholics, kind of being kicked out from South America. They're more focused on Europe. That's where they have the biggest advantage. But that's really it. And then the Hindus, they're just trying to just get all this land under their control. I will do it for today's video. If the religions of the world go to war? Royalty